Since 1985, the I-70 series between the Cardinals and Royals has been a massive part of Missouri baseball. With the stadium half red and half blue, it's truly a thing that divides the state. This program not only helps parents, it helps out the entire state. By making childcare more affordable, Missouri leaders hope that more parents could stay in the workforce, which keeps businesses running and boosts the state's economy. Local business leaders say the impact of childcare access goes far beyond individual families. Every love story has a beginning. For Larissa and Patrick Anderson, theirs began the only way it could, on the diamond.
When we first got into this, he was in professional baseball. I was a college softball coach at Hofstra, and it was like, well, let's see whose career takes off more, and then that's what we're going to follow. And we both took off, and we're like, well, let's do this. Let's see how far we can take it.
And take it they did, all the way across the country, across multiple schools and organizations, chasing their dreams together, even when they couldn't be together.
FaceTime was not a thing back then, and you didn't have a smartphone.
Distance is definitely a huge part of the relationship for the Andersons during the spring and early summer, as 160 miles separate Mizzou softball stadium here in Columbia from Hammons Field here in Springfield, and that's not even including the rigorous travel of a season.
Being apart for 6 months out of the year, that's tough when your spouse and your partner isn't home, and especially when you need each other.
Despite the distance, the Andersons find ways to stay connected.
Yeah, well, whenever I'm not playing, I'm 100% on ESPN app or any app I can to be able to watch. I get updates every so often. I kind of shouldn't say this, but you know, even if we're playing, I'll get our trainer to give me some updates of what's going on.
What keeps them grounded is knowing the other truly understands. And when they do talk, it goes beyond just support. Their coaching philosophy is quietly shaping each other's style for years.
And her and I really are the same with regards to fundamentals and how, you know, attention to detail we are with that. So like, we feed off each other with that type of stuff, and that's doesn't matter if it's baseball or softball, it's the same.
That development takes on extra meaning after seeing firsthand when a player's dreams come true.
He coached Juan Soto. Like, what better thing to say that you coached one of the greatest baseball players ever? You know, so I think just developing players and people, and then when they continue the career and they learn more than just the sport and can come back and, you know, say thank you for being a part of my journey, that's the best part about it.
And without kids of their own, they say the game provides all the family they need for now.
Kids are our dog and a cat, but all our kids are our players, and they mean so much to us, more so than anybody would ever think, and we treat them like they are our kids, and that's our opportunity to really grow and mentor these young men and women.
Two teams, two coaches who never stop believing in the people in front of them and each other. Connor Grohouse, KMU8 Sports. Last night here on the Katy Trail, a family bike ride turned deadly. A 9-year-old boy was riding his bike with his family and friends along the trail when he crossed County Road 391, and that's when he was hit by a pickup truck. He was later pronounced dead at the scene. Last night's incident highlights problems on the Katy Trail.
It honestly doesn't surprise me, but that's just terrible.
When riders arrive at the intersection, they find a stop sign for them. But there is no stop sign for vehicles. In fact, there is no signage at all to indicate the Katy Trail crossing. This is especially dangerous when vehicles are speeding over the hill and when bikers don't stop.
I mean, the locals know to stop, but you know, people just they should have some kind of stop sign here.
Adding to the danger is overgrown vegetation that makes it hard for drivers and riders to see each other.
I definitely always look through here, and there's been a couple times where, you know, if I didn't look, I would have got hit.
And this is not only a problem with this intersection on the trail.
And then there's one more down here when they're coming down the hill. Just right up here, the next intersection's really bad too. And there's a lot of speeding going on through here.
Sunday morning storms don't deter families from flocking to Rockbridge High School for a chance to train under one of the NFL's best.
My child has been looking forward to this for a while now. He does have big aspirations to go to the NFL one day, and so seeing, you know, a star like Nick take time out of his day to come out here and interact with the kids has been pretty awesome.
Organized by Flexwork Sports, athletes ages 6 to 16 learning from the Mizzou standout. Bolton says the families who stuck it out through the weather remind him exactly why he loves Columbia.
I kind of joked with him earlier that the weather today, man, is just typical Missouri. But the grit, coming here, they told me to show me state. You show up early, stay late, do everything you can. Put your best foot forward in this state, and kind of what they did today, man. Just exemplifies the people, the community.
Bolton and the camp staff eager to give back.
Just seeing the turnaround, man. Just like you see reliving life, and I was actually these kids in these camps, and Adrian Peterson's camp, and a couple other guys are growing up. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
I feel like the kids had the opportunity to kind of see that, like, you know, players of his caliber are real. You know, they got the opportunity to shake his hand, ask him a few questions. I feel like that was pretty cool. That was amazing.
For Bolton, the Columbia Youth Camp is bigger than just football.
Man, obviously learning a little football here, getting a little knowledge, man, but honestly, man, just having fun, working as a team, working as a collective group, man, and just doing something better, bigger than yourself.
Parents hoping their young athletes learn not only to weather the storm, but also how to give back.
And I want him to know that, like, you know, even if he does make it to the NFL someday, to be like Nick Bolton, you know, take the time to remember where he came from, remember your roots, and come back and help out your community.
Connor Grohouse, KBO8 Sports. It's hard to miss a massive steam locomotive stretching across downtown Mexico. Missouri artist Ray Harvey painted it by hand. Now it's official with his signature to celebrate the town's first ever public mural.
This is what it's all about. It's public art, and if you can't get the public behind you, you failed. And hopefully I do a good enough job that the townspeople, the residents, are proud. It's kind of the icon for the town.
The mural is the second of 5 across Missouri celebrating America's 250th, along with Mexico's railroad history.
It was about the first thing that was here. You know, that's why the town is here.
I hate to use this pun, but it really was the engine that got America going west. Who knows how long it would have taken to go west without the Transcontinental Railroad, and I mean, the train, the impact it had on America, it's still long-lasting.
Mayor Steve Hack presented Harvey with a city proclamation and said the city response to the project went beyond anything he expected.
You get a lot of people together, businesses. It's not just about this business that gets this mural on the side, but the other businesses that got behind and helped this happen with, you know, free lifts and things like that an artist needed to get this done.
Harvey heads west next with 3 more murals still to paint. He left Mexico with something that will be here long after he's gone.
We're a strong country, best and greatest country on the planet, and I'm very proud to be part of it. I'm very proud to paint it, and I'm very proud every time I paint the American flag on a mural.
For many people, this Cardinals season was supposed to be a write-off. With an average team age of 26, people said that this was going to be a rebuilding year. Well, if you were to ask the Cardinals, there doesn't seem to be much rebuilding going on here. The Cardinals are only 5 games out of the NL Central, and they just keep finding ways to win games. Picked to finish last in the NL Central with plus 2,500 odds to take the division. But the Cardinals keep surprising, sitting at 41-34, fighting for a playoff spot. And the formula is simple: lean on each other.
You know, we don't really listen to the noise, and you know, we're a good clubhouse and we get along well, and I think we gel well with each other, and so can't really put a number on that.
It doesn't matter who's up on the roster, anyone can step up.
It's the energy. I mean, from top to bottom, I feel like everybody brings energy to the team, and that energy is what we feed off of. And I just love how everybody's just always in the game, and anybody can contribute to the game at any point, and I think that's the essence of our team.
And we've always kind of talked about just believing in ourselves and sticking to what we do well and being able to play good ball.
Well, the big question is, though, with 75 games left, is can the Cardinals keep it going, especially after the All-Star break, where the Cardinals massively struggled last year. From Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, I'm Connor Grohouse, KBO8 Sports. After a 6-6 season and departed head coach, Washington State fans were left asking for more, and they got more. As you know by now, Missouri offensive coordinator Kirby Moore is leaving Missouri to become Washington State's 36th head coach. Wazoo made the announcement official yesterday afternoon after head coach Jimmy Rogers left for Iowa State, replacing Matt Campbell, who left for Penn State. The 35-year-old will make his first media appearance in Cougar Crimson on Tuesday. A source told KMU he will arrive in Washington on Sunday. He has also confirmed that Kirby Moore was in Columbia for Mizzou yesterday for team meetings. If Moore misses the Gator Bowl, it will be the first time Missouri will be without the play caller since 2023. He helped lead Mizzou that year to the 5th most yards in the SEC and has won back-to-back bowl games with Missouri. He also schemed up monster seasons for Luther Burden, Cody Schrader, and Armand Membu, who are all now in the NFL. Switching zoos from Mizzou to Wazoo, Moore now gets his first chance to run his own program. Missouri released a post on social media thanking Moore for his time in Columbia. For Dennis Gates and Mizzou basketball, yesterday night must have felt like Christmas morning. Though it's not December, even though it looks like it outside, the Tigers are receiving presents this March, dodging a trip to Dayton for the first 4, despite riding a 3-game losing streak, and the cherry on top, a March Madness home game in St. Louis. The Tigers walk into the NCAA tournament as a 10 seed and will face off with 7 seed in Miami in a late-night game on Friday night at 9:10. Tigers are only a 2.5-hour drive down I-70 to the Enterprise Center for Friday's game, compared to Miami, who have to travel from thousands of miles away, setting up a possible home court advantage for Mizzou. The last time the Tigers played in the Enterprise Center, they were on the short end of a 43-point thrashing against Illinois back in December. Coach Gates says the team has grown since then. Yes, Haley, crews have been working here all week to reclaim these streets, a process that helps asphalt be prepared against future elements. And this process has really put a strain on parking. But the city of Columbia is saying that parking rules should be followed no matter what is going on.
Anybody that couldn't be reached, then we had to wind up towing, unfortunately. We've been trying to do everything we can not to tow vehicles.
The work happening here in Columbia can be an annoyance for many, but the city says it's necessary and will help preserve the roads long term.
So the reclamite needs to reach every square inch of the asphalt that it is treating so it can soak in and extend the lifetime of the asphalt.
Because the treatment only works when the roads are clear, the city is putting up temporary parking signs. For people who leave their cars parked in these zones, the punishment can be severe.
I've seen some of those barnacles that are placed on vehicles, the large yellow squares. What those do is if someone has not paid their citations, they have 4 or more, and they've aged past a certain point, we'll place that on a person's car to encourage them to head down to the municipal court office and pay for some of those aged citations.
That enforcement push is also driving a surge in revenue numbers since Columbia raised its parking rates to $1 an hour back in January. The first hike since 2013.
We would prefer that people pay the meters rather than get a citation. It seems counterintuitive because paying a meter is perhaps just a few dollars, whereas a citation is $15. But the reason we parking would prefer you just to stay in compliance is the money you put into a meter stays in the parking utility.
Parking tickets take 15 days according to the city's website before they turn into a trial case. Treatment will continue here on Cherry Road. Live from downtown Columbia, Connor Grohouse, KMU8 News. Childcare costs continue to climb across Missouri, and state leaders say that's keeping too many parents out of the workforce. But a new program, Childcare Works, is aimed at addressing the problem. One employment service leader says it will be a game changer.
So often a parent, won't go back to work until after they've put their child in kindergarten. This gives them, if they want that career, they can now go back to work. They have a, way to subsidize their child care expenses.
The new program, which launches November 1st, splits child care costs 3 ways. Between the state, employers, and parents, families could see up to a 75% reduction in what they pay.
Employer contributes 30% of a child care expense for the employees. The state is going to match up to 40%, leaving the employee only paying 30%. This is huge. This is going to put hundreds, thousands back into the employee's pocket each year.
This program not only helps parents, it helps out the entire state. By making childcare more affordable, Missouri leaders hope that more parents could stay in the workforce, which keeps businesses running and boosts the state's economy. Local business leaders say the impact of child care access goes far beyond individual families.
$1 billion annual hit on the Missouri economy, and that was a result of people having to choose between putting their children in a daycare center versus going to work.
Tony Sturdivant with the Mid-America Council says the program could be very beneficial for other areas of Missouri's economy.
People work, they pay taxes, they purchase items, and so, they buy houses, they do all of the things that contribute to the economy. So we think that just by having access to affordable childcare, that means that there will be more income that the families can use for other things that can boost the economy.
Connor Grohouse, KMUA News, Jefferson City.
Muckins and McClarty Automotive Group, this is KOMU 8 Sports.
Happy 4th of July weekend, everyone. And is there anything more American than baseball? As the nation celebrates its 250th birthday, one of the game's greatest rivalries takes center stage as the Cardinals head to Wrigley Field for a 3-game set with the Cubs. And it's a big opportunity for St. Louis to move up and jump the Cubs for second place in the NL Central. Let's get into the action in this one. Cardinals getting hot early in this one. Second inning, runners out there for Nathan Church, who smashes a laser into the bleachers of Wrigley. And just like that, it's 3-0 Cards. St. Louis rolling in this one, now up 6-0 in the 4th, and adding more bases loaded for Alec Burleson, who shoots one into right for a single. That scores 2 runs. It's 8-zip. It's a run party for St. Louis in Chicago. Next batter, Mason Witt tees off on this one, and that one is gone. Cardinals cruise by the Cubs, taking it 17-1. U.S. men's national soccer team is in Seattle as they continue to prepare for their huge round of 16 match. U.S. beat Bosnia 2-0 on Wednesday in the round of 32. Now they're chasing their first quarterfinal appearance since 2002. Facing off against the same Belgium team that eliminated them from the tournament in 2014 in the round of 16. They'll be without top scorer Florian Balogun, who's suspended for the match after a red card versus Bosnia. FIFA confirmed the suspension on Wednesday. Kickoff for the match is set for Monday at 7 p.m. Final day, the round of 32 today in the World Cup. And we had some thrillers. Egypt taking down Australia on penalties to make their first ever round of 16. Defending champs Argentina were pushed to the brink today by Cape Verde, but Argentina prevailed 3-2 with a late goal at extra time, escaping the massive upset. And in the nightcap in Kansas City, we also got a good one. It's Colombia looking to hang on against Ghana. After an early goal, they lead at 1-0 late in this one. And another Mizzou Hooper is getting his shot at the NBA. The Memphis Grizzlies announced Friday that Columbia native Javon Porter has made the team's Summer League roster. The former Tolton Star and Tiger forward is the 4th player from last season's squad getting his shot at the pros, joining Mark Mitchell, Sean Phillips Jr., and Jaden Stone. Porter appeared in the first 12 games of the season for the Tigers before an injury sidelined him for the rest of the year. He averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds a game in the black and gold. Mizzou women's basketball is keeping it in the family with their newest recruit. Class of 2027 guard Katie Mueller has committed to the Tigers via social media on Friday. Becoming head coach Kelly Harper's first commit in the class, the 6'2" shooting guard is the younger sister of incoming freshman Ellie Mueller. Mueller is a senior to be at Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines, the same school that produced Caitlin Clark. She is ranked as the number 2 prospect in Iowa and chose Mizzou over offers from Kansas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Mizzou Athletics is adding another name to its Hall of Fame, adding former track standout Nikki Weber-Moore to the Hall. She ran track and field for the Tigers from 1993 to 1996. Moore won 3 Big 12 titles and qualified for the NCAA championships twice in the 800 meters. She's still holding the indoor record in that event. Moore went on to earn 3 degrees from Mizzou, including a doctorate in counseling psychology. She's spent more than a decade as a senior administrator at Oklahoma before becoming Cornell's first female athletic director, a role that she still holds today. She joins Nick Bold and Ashley Fleming in Mizzou's Hall of Fame class of 2026. Jefferson City Renegades in action day playing host to the Kansas City Monarchs, and this one was all KC from the start. Runner on first for Galberto Pena. He sends this one to the wall, scoring a run. It's 1-0 Monarchs. More Casey in the third. Runners on second and third. It's Danny Holmes with a double into the gap. That scores 2 runs for the Monarchs, and KC cruises easily, taking it 17-4. And that's it for sports.